13 years in the NFL, 4 times a Pro Bowler. Love having him on our show on Mondays. Let's bring in Michael Vick right now. Comeback Player of the Year in 2010. Number 1 overall by the Falcons 17 years ago. Most rushing yards for a quarterback of all time, over 6,000. You know that stuff. Sure. So Aaron Rodgers, I can see his frustration. I watched all these quarterbacks. You can see him roll his eyes. You can see him be exasperated. How do you solve it?
Well, it's been the same look for the last 2-3 years for Aaron.
Right.
So it's like, where do you go from here? And Aaron has hit a lot of blemishes for this team over the past couple years. And it's time for him to get some help. Like, you look at the New England Patriots, and they went out and got Josh Gordon. It could have easily been the Green Bay Packers.
Right.
Just somebody to come in and could give Aaron Rodgers some help. He can't continue to do it all on his own. I won't say that because he do have some players around him.
Devontae Adams is a good player.
Yeah, Devontae Adams is a good player. The kid stepped up last night at receiver, Jones.
Yeah, no, they've got some help. I will say this. Did you ever go to the general manager and say, or a scout? I mean, should Aaron do that?
Yes, I think he should be more vocal. There were times when I was in Philadelphia where I used to go to Howie Roseman and say, Howie, what you think about bringing in a cornerback? And next thing you know, we get Asamoah. And I thought that was great because now they're listening to me.
Right.
Andy used to call me and look, we're thinking about bringing in certain guys, Dominique Rodgers, Kamadi, and, it was just various guys. But as a quarterback, you have to go into a general manager's office and say, look, this is what I'm thinking, because you don't always see eye to eye. And what they might think they're doing is best for the team might not be best for the offensive side of the ball or the defensive side of the ball. Sometimes it creates a little confusion.
Like last night, Green Bay had a fumble, and then there was the roughing the kicker call, which I didn't think it was a terrible call, but a lot of people didn't like it. When I look at Green Bay, I look at the Chargers' talent and the Saints' talent and the Rams' talent and the Eagles. Green Bay feels like, to me, they have to play more perfect to win.
Yeah, they do, and it's all predicated on Aaron. I think you mentioned the New Orleans Saints, where they got, Mark Ingram and they got Alvin Kamara.
Michael Thomas.
I mean, Aaron, he has Devontae Adams, but I don't even know the name of the running back. And excuse me for my ignorance because I should know, but he's not a marquee player. When has Aaron Rodgers had a marquee running back behind him where he can hand it off to him and the guy goes for 150 yards on any given week? He just don't get that. And we always talk about the importance of the running game. So, their scouts, their general manager has to take a step back and look at what he's worked with over the past couple years and say, okay, it's time for me to get him another receiver that can complement Devontae Adams. It's time to bring in another running back. It's time to go out and get a guy on the defensive side of the ball like a Khalil Mack who can be a game changer. These things have to happen. Other than that, we'll see Aaron Rodgers continue to –
in big games.
Just, struggle at times. Things will work, up into a certain juncture of the game. And last night it was a fumble that pretty much decided the outcome of the game. And unfortunately for Aaron, I think he had did enough in that game to put them in a position to win. It's just the players around him, failed him again, and that was kind of deflating.
When you look at Brady, I don't know how many times you've faced Tom. Are you at least a little bit surprised that he looks the same as he did 7 years ago? I mean, seriously, if you put this tape in, and I had traveled to wherever. I went to Kenya for 10 years, and you threw a tape in. I went to Australia for 10 years. I went to New Zealand. I didn't watch any NFL.
Yeah.
And you said, here's a tape of Tom. And I'd be like, oh, what year is it? And you'd be like, oh, no, that was last Sunday. I'd be like, wait a minute. I don't understand. When you watch him, it's the same guy 7 years ago, right?
That was going to be my point. The Tom Brady of 2018 looks like the Tom Brady from 2006 or 2010 or 2012. It's all about efficiency. Everything that they do always works. They might have a blemish or two early in the season where they lose a game, drop a game, won a couple, lost 2 in a row. And then, we all start to think that, look, is this the end for Tom Brady and the New England Patriots? And then they rip off 6 or 7 straight. And then they do it with guys who you may have never heard of, or guys who are starting to make a name for themselves, or they just put guys in position where they become superstars, for that franchise. And that's the remarkable part about Bill Belichick and his system and Tom. They know how to use guys and put them in positions to win. And every year is always somebody different.
You ever have a buddy that played for the Patriots?
Patrick Chung.
What did he? Oh, I know Patrick. Yeah. What did he say?
Well, he came over to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
For a year, spent the year with us, and the only thing he was telling me was, I got to get back to New England. And he went back to New England the next year, won a couple Super Bowls, and I'm saying to myself, Patrick was right. Everything that he said he would go back and do, or the team would be able to accomplish, they accomplished. And he knew it was a different culture in Philadelphia at the time.
No, it wasn't the same when you were there. Now
yes.
It's different now.
Yes,
with the guys. So you faced Drew Brees a couple times.
Yeah,
it's hard to win in New Orleans.
Yes.
Drew and you are actually about the same size, about 217 pounds. You're about 6'1". When I look at Drew, first of all, I think he ran for a first down yesterday. He's always been a little better athlete than we give him credit for. This idea that he's pretty athletic.
He snuck one in yesterday.
Yeah, he snuck one in.
First down run.
I just think accuracy. I just think of the way he throws the ball. When you would be on the field with Drew, what struck you?
His ability to just keep the chains moving. Like, if you don't put pressure on Drew, it's going to be a tough game. It's like 7-on-7 all over again. And then, over the years, he's had Marcus Colston, and now he's got Michael Thomas.
He always has one big-time dude.
One guy that is the focal point of the offense, and then a couple guys that, he just gets the ball to. They make plays at the right time. But Drew is so efficient, man. He's so smart. And the offense never looks the same. You got guys crossing, you got guys running deep, you got screens. That's what they do really, really well to set up everything else that the offense does. But, Drew continues to just get better and better each and every year. And just like Tom Brady, the father of time, hasn't caught up with him yet. And I can easily see this guy playing another 3 or 4 years. He's that good. And he does the right things with his body, keeps himself in shape, he eats right, and he loves the game of football.
He loves it. Drew loves it.
And breathes it. So that's a big reason for all his success.
So we were talking about this. Joy, do you like celebrations?
I love celebrations.
Okay, you like celebrations.
Can we celebrate today?
Well, I mean, the NFL celebrations. I'm not a big fan of them, but I do get why the league is allowing it because it's on Instagram and the kids like it and it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
entertainment.
Did Michael Thomas here by planting phones? Was that a little over the?
Yeah, I think so, man. Because Joe Horn had already pulled that one out the hat.
Unless he was just trying to steal it from Shannon.
Did Shannon do
that?
You
got to give Shannon sharp credit.
He did it.
Well, he didn't have the actual phone. He did it first.
Yeah, well,
and then Joe Horn upped it by getting the actual phone.
Okay, so I can understand Joe Horn pulling out a flip phone back in the day.
Right.
But in 2018, look, Michael Thomas, if you're gonna do it right. Pull out an iPhone or a Galaxy or something. Don't pull out a flip phone. That's the first thing. That's how I knew it was pretty. It's a good prop. It's a good prop. But listen,
but here's what's funny. When I watch this play, if a quarterback did that, we'd crush him.
Yes.
It seems it's fun when a crazy wild wide receiver does it.
Yeah,
a wide receiver, we're like, but just ask yourself. If whoever it is, Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck, Eli Manning, although he can't run, if they got into the end zone and they went to the phone, you would think, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're wasting time on a phone.
Right. So unless he did it at the end of the game when the game is out of reach and he's went out and threw for 300-plus yards and 4 touchdowns, then it's justifiable. Still out of the character of a quarterback, but you can be justified.
Yeah. So Dallas, Tennessee tonight. Is there either team you like?
I like Dallas in this game. I like the fact that the Cowboys have added Amari Cooper. I think that's what they've needed.
How long, Michael, when you add a receiver, go back to your career.
Yeah.
Now, the good news was the Cowboys got a bye, and they're at home. So you haven't wasted a day in travel.
Right.
How long does it take you in practice to feel like, okay, I'm under pressure. I'm going to throw it to a spot, and he'll be there?
It's going to take some time. That could take up until about a month.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, because timing is everything. He has to, be able to understand, like, all the details and nuances of the offense. Like, instead of running a comeback route at 18, they might run him shorter at 15. And then he got to adjust to his steps and know when the quarterback is going to release the ball, and got to know when to look for the ball. So it's a lot of variables that come into play.
What was your best relationship in your whole career? What was your best relationship with a receiver where you really felt like, was it Roddy White?
No, I think it was me and Deshaun Jackson.
Now, why?
Because I had to adjust to Deshaun's speed. He was so fast, and I had a strong arm, so it didn't always time up. So when it came to throwing the deep end cuts and the comeback routes, we struggled. Throwing the deeper balls, it was fairly easy because, my arm
He'd just catch up to it.
Yeah, he'd catch up to it. So I can pretty much put it anywhere on the field. So we worked extremely hard trying to get on the same page as far as all the intermediate routes and the possession routes so that he could be effective, throughout the course of a game.
Before practice, after practice.
Before and after practice,
just grinding every day.
Yes. And as much as I could throw it to him in practice, whether we was going against a scout team look or just our defense, I tried to target him as much as I could just to make sure that I was on the same page. Jeremy Maclin was a little easier to throw to because he ran good routes. Deshaun ran good routes too, but Maclin's speed.
Deshaun's speed was so great. He probably didn't have to be as good a route runner. The faster a dude is, the less precise sometimes he is.
The more fear he puts into a cornerback where he can push him, and then he can almost do anything he want to do to him once he gets to the top of his route.
Good seeing you, Michael.
Good seeing you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.